I just woke up. I'm in the back of my car. That glowing light is from my generator. It's about 3 in the morning now. I spent the day walking around Times Square. I slept like a rock for about 4 hours here where I'm parked in the garment district of New York City. I did so much walking today, I was beyond exhausted. But it was still pretty noisy with the cars zooming by just inches away from me here on 37th Street. So I had to use earbuds and a white noise app to block out the noise, and that worked well until the app quit on me after about 4 hours for some reason. Then there were sirens going off from this fire station just a few yards away from me right after I woke up. So I'm not feeling like I'm going to fall back asleep again. So I've decided I'm just going to drive out of the city right now while there's no traffic. I feel rested enough, and I'll come back in a few days for more New York City. As always, the weather dictates exactly when that will be. It's a Tuesday now, and I'm back in the Bronx. So being a weekday, there's very little free parking like there is on Sundays, but I found a garage in the Washington Heights section of Upper Manhattan. I can park all day for $9. So it seems driving in New York means changing lanes willy-nilly, cutting people off like this guy is doing. He actually used his turn signal, which I haven't seen anyone else do this morning. And driving in the city means going 60 miles an hour where you should be driving more like 20 miles an hour. Horn honking around here seems to be almost like breathing. It's just automatic and continuous. They even honk just to remind you that that red light will be turning green at some point, just in case you forgot that green happens after red. And you better be ready to hit that gas pedal. Oh my God, that short school bus is coming right at me. Not slowing down at all. Not for nothing. Wow. Now the footage of that was taken with a wide-angle lens, so the bus was even closer than it'll appear on the video. Okay, I just finished parking in the garage. I've never parked in a valet garage by myself, so I didn't know what to do, and the attendant was pretty annoyed and didn't feel like explaining anything. He was like, "Just figure it out, lady. It ain't rockin' science here." He didn't literally say that, but I could tell that that's what he was thinking. I've actually been more nervous about using the subway than anything else about New York City. I don't know how to do any of that. I did watch some how-to videos on YouTube, though. I'll be taking a train straight down to the South Ferry station. I'm just going to buy a one-trip ticket for $3, then I'll be getting another one on the way back. So the subway will be costing me $6 total, unless I screw something up, which is very possible. Candy is in her new bag, which I wear like a backpack. She seems very contented in there. She's got a fleece blanket to lay on. Dogs are allowed on the subway in bags. Some New Yorkers improvise the dog in a bag concept. How's Candy doing back there? I can't see her reaction. There's a voice on a loudspeaker telling us what the next stop is, but I can't understand what he's saying, so I have to pay attention to what's written on the walls at these stops. Candy doesn't mind the subway at all. Made it without any issues. And we're going to take a ride on the Staten Island Ferry. It's free and it's pet friendly. Lots of security here, including dogs. This is a beautiful station for something that's free. I had to do so much research just to get around this city that I didn't research any history or any stories that I find interesting like I usually do. So we're just going to enjoy the experience as it happens, and I'll just narrate my thoughts as I go along. I want to find a way to an outside deck. The windows are too dirty on the inside of the ferry to get a nice view. Candy's looking straight ahead at the New York skyline out here. There she is, the Statue of Liberty. The best photo ops are supposed to be on the return trip, Well, this is the return trip and they're not letting us on the outside deck. I'm guessing it's because the water has gotten a little rough. So this video is being taken through dirty windows. Even though the water is rough, the ferry is nice and steady. Thank God, because I do get seasick pretty easily. I get motion sickness in a rocking chair, I'm not kidding. And now we will be walking to our next destination. Washing windows, yikes. I had to stop for a rest, and a New York pretzel was on my list of must-haves. I'll need a lot of mustard for this monster. I've never seen water sparkle like that. They've got the water flowing down into that square recess. Interesting. Not sure what the meaning of that is, so I'll have to ponder that for a while, I guess. I'm looking for a particular person's name, and it looks like the names are grouped according to where they were when they died. And there's another one of these square waterfall memorials a few yards away, so I guess each one of these must be where the Twin Towers were. I thought I read that dogs were allowed here, but I'm not seeing any other dogs except for police dogs. But they seem to be okay with my dog being in a bag like this. They can see her right through the mesh window. I don't see why they wouldn't be okay with that. Now all of a sudden we've got New York's finest all lined up here. Is this roll call? So I heard somebody say that they just graduated from the academy, which makes sense because they're all pretty young. An exciting career choice for them. I wish them luck. Maybe it's a recent tradition to pay their respects to any officers lost on 9/11. Now back to finding that name. Here she is. Carol worked with my mother at a hospital in Rhode Island. She wasn't supposed to be on that flight. Her friend planned a trip to Vegas with her mother, but her mother backed out at the last minute. And Carol got talked into going, and she really had to be talked into it because she had an extreme fear of flying. She was on Flight 11, which was the first plane to crash into the Twin Towers. She left behind her husband and father. She was just getting her home ready to move her father in so she could take care of him in his old age. She didn't have children, but she volunteered with the mentor program for at-risk youth because she was a good person. This is a beautiful memorial, very unique. I was trying to get back to the subway station and accidentally ended up on Wall Street. So apparently people stand in line and take turns to have their picture taken with the front of the bull, and then there's a line in the back of the bull where you pose holding the bull's balls. Candy, you have to pose with those giant nuts.
You're a giant nut.
My feet have about had it, but I'm looking forward to sitting on that subway for 45 minutes back to the parking garage. And hopefully I can drive out of New York City without incident. So I'm almost out of the Bronx now. Nothing bad happened today. It was an interesting day in Lower Manhattan, and we'll be back because there's lots more pet-friendly things to do and see in New York City.